I want you to pay good attention to how to structure your business. And then we're gonna have a good conversation about it. I need you to participate. Ask questions. Make statements. Don't just sit there. I need you to use your brain. Get used to not being mentally lazy. Talk. All right? Let's look at how you structure your business.
Structure a brand new LLC for funding, right? So first things first, I think it's important to note that no matter the credit score, if you are operating as a business, you will need an LLC, right? So let's take B for instance. B wants to go ahead and start a business. So the first thing that he does is he comes up with a name. You want to do a generic name, no credit repair, no credit, real estate, none of that stuff. You want to do last name plus holdings, last name plus corp, enterprise, venture. It doesn't matter, just pick one. Then you're going to go over to the classification. You're going to choose management or consulting, because these are low risk industries. The NAICS code for that is 541611. Then you're going to move over to your address. Now, it's important to note the difference between a registered agent and a virtual address. A virtual address you can use on your business website. You can accept mail there, whatever the case may be, right? A registered agent is just somebody who accepts government issued mail on your behalf. Then, phone number time. You want to go get a virtual phone number from a website like a Dialpad or a Grasshopper, get the 800-855 number. It just looks a lot more professional, right? Then you're going to go over and get your website. Website's got to be in line with what you said your name was, right? So they shouldn't see no credit repair website over here or anything like that. Make sure it's in line with the general services that you mentioned over on your website. Then last but not least, get a professional email. No hotbaby@gmail.com, none of that. Get a professional at domainname.com from G Suite, GoDaddy, whatever the case may be. And that is how you properly structure a brand new LLC for funding.
All right. That's about the first thing that you're supposed to have heard. I'm going to play it again because I think it's important to make sure that you got it. All right, because we went fast, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure that you got it. Y'all just sat there too. You know you didn't get it and didn't say anything. All right, so let's go back over it. Let's make sure we get it. Proper way to structure your business. The proper way to structure your business. All right, so what I'm gonna do is gonna hit it. When you make the point, we're gonna stop. I'm gonna talk and we're gonna hit it again. All right, first point.
How to structure a brand new LLC for funding, right? So first things first, I think it's important to note that no matter the credit score, if you are operating as a business, you will need an LLC, right? So let's take B for instance. B wants to go ahead and start a business. So the first thing that he does is he comes up with a name. You want to do a generic name, no credit repair, no credit, real estate, none of that stuff. You want to do last name plus holdings, last name plus corp, enterprise, venture. It doesn't matter, just pick one. Then you're going to go over to
Stop. Here we go. Business name. Tell me some of your business names.
TP Essentials and Think Pink Incorporated.
What?
TP Essentials for my pain balm, and Think Pink Incorporated is for my merchandise.
Are they two different businesses?
Yes.
Think
Think Pink for my breast cancer awareness.
Okay.
TP Essentials is for my pain balm. which is
TP Essentials is for your
cosmetics.
cosmetics. Okay, we're gonna look that up in a moment. Anybody else? Give me your company name. You ever notice that Apple has a name like Apple?
It's plain.
Now, Apple have nothing to do with IT. You don't know what Apple does. Apple does a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I was at home and I said, I ain't gonna be called Apple, I'm gonna be called Pear.
Okay.
And don't go stealing my name.
You wrote it down?
Apple. It's Apple. That's the name of the company. The company is called Apple. Apple has nothing to do with technology. However, Apple was a home run. Apple was a home run. Now tell me another name. What's another name? Your company name.
My LLC was my name, my brand, Niecy Red's brand, and then my art name is Dip and Flow.
Dip and Flow. Corp. What is it?
No, it's just sole proprietorship.
Okay. Anybody else? Name your company. Creations with a K. That's it? Just Creations with a K. All right. Hit it. Let's look at that.
classification. You're going to choose management or consulting.
Stop.
Because these are
So when you want to make money with your business, what are the two areas we talk about? Management and consulting.
You gotta
Which one do
choose
you
one.
fit?
All right.
Consulting.
That's what
Who
mine
else?
is, consulting.
If you do anything in beauty, what are you doing?
Consulting,
If I did something in health, what am I doing?
consulting.
Okay? What is another area? If you did something with property, you could be either management or you could be consulting. Right? So you got to pick, remember, areas that you're going to be able to do good in. You either going into consulting or you're going into management. But your business got to be doing something. All right, let's go.
The low-risk industries, the NAICS code.
Stop for a minute. Low risk what?
Industry.
Industry. You don't want your company to be titled as a low risk, as a high risk industry. You don't want a high risk industry. You want it to be a low risk industry. Get it?
That's 541611.
Stop.
Big.
Go back. All right. Here's where we're gonna talk about how to make sure that your company fits. Let's hit it again. Keep going.
You're gonna move over to your address. Now, it's important to note the difference between a registered agent and a virtual address.
Stop a minute. How many use your home address?
Yeah.
Let me see your hand. Take it off. If they Google, they know it's your home. Take it off. You need a business address,
They're virtual. Yeah. Okay.
right? You need a business address and not your home address. How many have your home? How many have your cell number on things?
No, I took mine off.
Is it your cell number? How many had your cell number on it? Take it off. Go ahead.
Virtual address you can use on your business website. You can accept mail there, whatever the case may be, right? A registered agent is just somebody who accepts government issued mail on your behalf. Then, phone number time. You want to go get a virtual phone number from a website like a dial pad or a grasshopper, get the 800.
Stop a minute. Grasshopper or what? Dial pad. Grasshopper or dial pad. You don't want to put somebody else's number on there. You need a virtual number. You need a virtual office like Regus. Is it Regus? Regus, yeah. Yeah, Regus. Regus or any of those virtual office things that you can actually get. And then that's what you want to do. They'll give you, you can get your mail there. Yeah, they'll even give you a phone number, a lot of them. And they'll even give you like office space if you have to meet a client or something like that to be able to do it. Because where else are you going to meet the client?
Right.
Now, I try to do that where you meet a client like a Starbucks or you meet them at, where was it?
Panera Bread.
Panera Bread. They was like, thank you, sir, but we'll wait
Yeah.
to get to your office. Everybody's not comfortable
True.
doing things like that.
Yeah.
And guess how much they were paying me when they had to come in to see me at Panera Bread or at Starbucks? Can you guess? Anything. Just throw it out. How much do you think it was?
What, hourly?
Yeah.
Just throw a number out. How much do you think they was gonna pay me to come see me? Who said 150? Higher.
Probably 500.
That's a good one.
No. So the initial, when I first see you, is 285. If I continue to see you again, it's 185. It's 185. If I saw you. And people pay it.
Right.
People pay it. A lot of times I'm doing body work, depending on what it is you want, it's 285. Yeah. Period. If I'm talking to you, yeah. Now, if I do mediation, I am $300, but you have to sign up for 3 hours,
Yeah.
which is 300 times 3.
Right.
You get me?
Right.
I'm doing mediation. So I do mediation to stay married, mediation to be divorced. I do mediation for child custody.
Right.
Right? I do mediation for people with problems in the community, or let's say your husband or wife said, I want half the bank account, I want half the car, or I want the car, one of those things. I'm trained to do mediation for assets. All right? So I do mediation for all of that. So a lot of times when people are coming in, they think they need to see a therapist. I'm like, no, that's mediation.
Yeah.
Because what you want is, you want some stuff. That's mediation. You gotta go to the other side. Now, another problem with you is I think sometimes you're overextending yourself and you're not compensated for it. And guess what happens to you? You get frustrated.
Oh, yeah,
Because you're putting out, but you're not getting in.
right.
Does that make sense? All right, so you gotta begin to manage you and manage your time.
Yeah.
All right, so it's an hour. You wanna talk to me past an hour, you gotta pay up again.
Right.
So while I'm talking to you, go ahead on that site and put that money back up in there. And let me see it on my phone and then we can continue to talk.
Also,
If
if it's
you-
an urgent appointment.
Now, I do urgent
No,
appointments.
It's a fee. Yeah.
It's a fee for urgent appointment, and if you need a letter or something else, that's some money. Now, most doctors charge you $500. If you go in the office, it's on the board. They say $500 or they say $350 for a letter for your job. You're gonna take off, or you need special accommodations, it's about
Yeah.
between $350 and $500. Now, what I used to do is say, oh, you just come and see me 3 times and do it, but I know it's still like it's gonna be like 100 or something when you come and see me, so I would normally
Right.
do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it no more, it's $300,
Yeah.
right? Depending on what it is, what kind of letter it is. If it's a different kind of letter, it's $500. Yeah, to be able to do it. So, know your industry. Know your industry, understand your industry, and then put your work in. All right, get it?
855 number, it just looks a lot more professional, right? Then you're gonna go over and get your website. Website's gotta be in line with what you said your name was.
Stop. Website's gotta be in line with what your what?
Name is.
Your name is. How many have a website already? All right, so one of the things I think is important when you're in class like this is we look at your website. I notice that a lot of you don't carry iPads or laptops. Bring one, because I want to pull up your website for me. Let me see what that looks like. Right, let's go over it. Then there's a tool, there's an AI tool, and next week Amy will be able to play it for you. There's an AI tool that will examine your website and then tell you what changes you need to make on your website. And then there's a tool that looks at whether they can find you on Google or not. Now, I'm a little different because when people meet me, guess what the first thing they do?
Look you up.
Google me. I'm Googled all the time. Debbie called me. She said, all right. That's because somebody Googled me and then told her, and then when she Googled me and how I came up in the Google search. And so when you Google, people are going to Google you. So, are you going to show up? Are you going to come up? Or what's going to happen? So you want to make sure your website matches whatever you said your services are. And we said you're either going to be what? Consultant or what? Management. Either consultant or management. You got to remember that. You're either being a consultant or you're being a manager. Go ahead.
Right? So they shouldn't see no credit repair website over here or anything like that. Make sure it's in line with the general services that you mentioned over on your website. Then last but not least, get a professional email. No hotbaby@gmail.com, none of that. Get a professional.
Hold on a minute. Now, how many know you've done that? Did you do sweetie@gmail?
I knew better than that.
It's always in my name. It's my name.
Did you do that? We don't want you to do Gmail, and we don't want you to do Hotmail. So if you did Gmail, Hotmail, if it's not .com,
Your company name.com.
companyname.com.
Like use info at whatever company name.com.
All right, you heard what he said.
Yeah.
Say it loud.
You can use info at whatever your company name.com, .net, .co, wherever.
All right, you get it? So take the Gmail off and take, what is it?
Google.
Dr. James at,
Which one?
Dr. James 1964 at.
Oh, Yahoo.
That Yahoo, that's the devil.
Yeah.
And I had it for 1,000,000 years. And you never think to trade it off
Right.
or stop giving it to people in business, like it be on your card.
Yeah,
right? So all that had to change.
yeah,
You can't use that in business.
right.
So you gotta change all that. And I got old cards with that on there, and then I'm 60, and you know, when you get my age, you don't really change very much about things. You be like, oh, well, I'm established, but you gotta change it. Let's go.
At domainname.com from G Suite, GoDaddy, whatever the case may be. And that is how you properly structure a brand new LLC for funding. This
What? All right. Because doctor came in, let's go back over it, let it play out and go back over it again.
is how to structure
Yep.
a brand new LLC for funding, right? So first things first, I think it's important to note that no matter the credit score, if you are operating as a business, you will need an LLC, right? So let's take B for instance. B wants to go ahead and start a business. So the first thing that he does is he comes up with a name. You want to do a generic name, no credit repair, no credit, real estate, none of that stuff. You want to do last name plus holdings, last name plus corp, enterprise, venture. It doesn't matter, just pick one. Then you're going to go over to the classification. You're going to choose management or consulting because these are low risk industries. The NAICS code for that is 541.
Stop. 541611. NIAC. NAICS. NAIC code 541611. You want your company to be low risk and not a high risk. So if I said that I was a real estate company, that could be high risk.
Right.
If I said I was a trucking company,
Yeah.
it could be high risk. If I said I was a security company, it could be what? High risk, instead of saying I was a consultant. Are you with me?
Right.
All right, so you want to take that off, because what happens is they'll look up the classification of how much you're supposed to be paid. So if you said, oh, I sell beauty products, well, do you think they're going to give you $100,000? No, because they don't think you make that much money. Do you get it?
Yeah,
So what you want to begin to do is you want to look up the code, and you want to be paid the highest when you go to do business. You want to be paid the highest when you go to do business. Are you getting it?
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
611. Then you're going to move over to your address. Now, it's important to note the difference between a registered agent and a virtual address. A virtual address you can use on your business website. You can accept mail there, whatever the case may be, right? A registered agent is just somebody who accepts government-issued mail on your behalf. Then, phone number time. You want to go get a virtual phone number from a website like a Dialpad or a Grasshopper, get the 800-855 number. It just looks a lot more professional, right? Then you're going to go over and get your website. Website's got to be in line with what you said your name was, right? So they shouldn't see no credit repair website over here or anything like that. Make sure it's in line with the general services that you mentioned over on your website. Then last but not least, get a professional email. No hotbaby@gmail.com, none of that. Get a professional at domainname.com from G Suite, GoDaddy, whatever the case may be. And that is how you properly structure a brand new LLC for funding. This
Stop. So today, just a small amount of funding. It was like $40,000 that we were discussing. And I wanted to participate in $40,000, but I wanted to turn that $40,000 into $500,000, which would be a very easy task, right? But I told you, they were in my office, and you want me to open up in Georgetown. You want me to open up in Old Town. All that sounds wonderful. I'm willing to work with everybody, but the point of it is, you know you need money. You need money, you need funding, and you don't always want to use your money. You want to use other people's money, not your money. Now, even though you can afford to do it, that's not what you want to do. You want to use other people's money. So you want to get funding directly for your company. That's what you want to do. You want to get it directly for your company. Can you get it? When I move you on, you're going to understand me a little better. I was negotiating a deal, I think it was cardiologist, I think it was Washington cardiologist or something. We're in a board meeting. We're trying to merge with the cardiologist. When I first started out, Dr. McNair, I had a contract between myself, my company, and Washington Hospital Center, and the head of the cardiologist department had to sign that contract, meaning you send me patients, right? For exercise, psychotherapy, the whole thing, because they got heart problems. All right, so here I am being trained for cardiovascular problems, and then I've got a contract with Washington Hospital Center. It felt wonderful. It was a lot. Then when we wanted to merge with Washington Center for Cardiologists or whatever, I'm not considered medical, I'm considered biomedical. Well, in Maryland, it's a difference between medical center and medicine center, right? And I was a medicine center, and their attorneys was looking at medical, and I was like, you're off. So let me teach you something, because you're off. You got me a classification that I don't fit. So we're gonna redo it. Behavioral health, things like behavioral health, lifestyle medicine, all the things you hear me say, I can touch any part of you, redo anything of you using the right classification of what it is that I do. Does that make sense? I need you to understand what you do and the classification of where you fit, because you want top dollar. Let's go to the next one. Before I go to the next one, any questions on anything I've said? Any questions? Any thoughts about what I said? Remember, you want top dollar. So if you say, I'm a teacher, they're gonna look up your classification as a teacher, and they're gonna pay you what they think the going rate for being that teacher is. But if you say you're a consultant, that's totally different. I'm an educational consultant. What are you? Consultant, that's what you are. Now, if I taught school, if I taught a regionally accredited institution, and then I was assistant vice president of academics in a regionally accredited institution, that's good, isn't it? Well, I would be considered an educational consultant. I taught and I did administration. I ran the school, and then I was in charge of the, what do you call it, extension campus. When they take a campus and put it somewhere else, I was in charge of the campus. If there's a difference between, how many understand a regionally accredited versus just accredited? There's national accredited and regionally accredited. Normally you get a job, what they ask you for? Regionally accredited degrees, that's the highest one. And then you got national. So if I'm a professor at a regionally accredited school, if I am an assistant vice president for academics at a regionally accredited school, I'm at the highest place. Now, that's not being braggadocious, that's understanding my worth. Understanding my worth. So if I go to talk somewhere, I want $15,000 to $20,000 for talking, because I am a subject matter expert. Do you see the difference? Now, Whitney's had a platform. She's taught at a high grade school for beauty, right? And then recently she sent out where she's on these panels. Well, that's a subject matter expert. This is why I'm grabbing her and pushing her and moving her, because it's a subject matter expert. Somebody has to teach you who you are. Right. Do you get it? Somebody teach you who you are. You got bishops in here who have doctorates. I've got to try to find the window that their expertise is in and do what? Teach them how to take their regionally accredited doctorates and make it work. They don't have to become a professor. They don't have to become an academic dean. They can be a subject matter expert and get top dollar. You want $20,000 to come in to talk. Do you want that? How many people know Martha Stewart just came up out the kitchen? She went to jail and came back and still made some money. She went right back in the kitchen. So you can come from the kitchen and make millions.
Everything.
Right? She got pots and pans, she got dishes, she got all kinds of things. You're not creative enough. Say what? Yes, she's building houses and buildings. She came from the kitchen. She got Martha Vineyard.
Yes, you do.
She came from the kitchen. Can I ask you a question? What's in your kitchen?
Amen.
What are you doing with your kitchen?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I rate women on kitchens,
Yes.
bathrooms,
Yeah.
It's very important.
right? Heck, I rate you on your decoration,
Yeah.
your decor. Excuse me.
Right.
I come in your house, I look around like,
Take it all in. Yeah.
check. Then you just start looking from the toe up. Because that's what my mother would do. When I brought a girl home, she looked from the toe up. Like this. And then talk loud in front of their face. I don't know what you brought that in here for. She told me their shoes was cheap, her pantyhose was rubbing, it was poor grade pantyhose. She told me that's not even her hair. Because I couldn't tell whether the person wear the wig or not. My mother said, that's a wig. You don't know what's under there. So, Yolanda, do you see me sometimes I be looking at people? What is that? And then a little piece of it be coming up.
Yeah.
The lace be coming up. I'm gonna start telling y'all, come to my office. Come in. Come here, baby. Because the other ones won't tell you. But Bishop gonna tell you. Here, matter of fact, I got a new one for you. Come here, Whitney, and comb it out for her and put it on her head, baby. She don't have to have no glue no more. It's called a glueless wig. All right, and it stays on your head. I'm gonna help y'all. Yeah, it's gonna stay on your head real good. We're gonna help y'all out real good. Come here, Tamara, and put it on their head.
Get them together.
When I saw her, Tamara, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a head problem in this house. Don't need no prayer, need a wig. Come on. You know, sometimes Yolanda and Jim McNair be saying Jesus. Look at this. Now, here it is, daughter. I want you to learn. I want you to learn because you have an ability to connect with people. You speak intelligently, right? Good diction. Okay. Here's what you
Bank
do.
will give you $25,000 with a 650 credit score. First Tech Federal Credit Union. They pull Experian. All you need is a 650
Stop.
to get approved. Now,
What was the bank?
First Tech Credit Union.
Write it down.
FIRST. Tech.
What's the name of the credit score thing? My credit.
My school.
No, my score
Oh, the school.
No, my score,
IQ.
let me see.
All right, he's going to tell you exactly. Don't go to Credit Karma. It's no good. It's inaccurate. So if you went to Credit Karma, scratch it off. You don't know your credit score for real. Stop using Credit Karma. I'm going to give you a whole training on it. Stop using Credit Karma. Don't do it. All right, so he said First Tech Credit Union, $25,000, brand new LLC. What was the credit score that you needed?
650.
650.
You talking about my score IQ?
My score IQ. I was saying it. My score IQ. Write it down. Do not go to Credit Karma anymore. Because what do they need, Dr. McNair? They need what when you look at a credit score? What are you guys looking at the bank?
Looking at credit history, looking at credit consistency.
If it's a business, it's Paydex. If it's personal, it's what?
It's, actually, it's,
All right. You think at Credit Karma you got your credit score. You really don't. So don't do it anymore because you'll walk into somewhere and saying, I got a 700 and you really got a 680 or 650. It's not going to be what you think it is. So don't trust Credit Karma anymore. Are we good?
All right.
All right. So now I want you to how to fund your company. So now we taught you how to structure it. Now we're talking about how to fund it. Is this good for you?
It is good.
Now we're talking about how to fund it. All right. Keep going.
you do want to be a member with this bank, so you can go ahead and donate to the Financial Fitness
Stop.
Association.
If you're going to go to a credit union, there's ways of getting to the credit union without somebody being a member.
All right.
In this credit union, you're gonna give some money to the Financial Fitness Association. It's like $10, $20,
Oh, wow.
and sometimes $5. And so you donate to the association, Michelle, and then you become a member of the credit union. You get me, Dr. Noko? All right, so this is gonna be, when you talk about women's ministry and men's ministry and family ministry, and you talk about entrepreneurship, and you talk about having a church and people growing in a church and doing better as a people in the church, because you can't get an offering from people who don't have any money,
Sure can.
or people who are behind in bills.
Right.
The scripture says, I would that you what? Prosper, be in health, even as our soul prosper. There's another scripture that says, I make you what? The head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower, above and never beneath. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Keep going.
It's only like $10 and you'll be able to get in. I highly recommend getting a checking account, then double
Stop.
down.
The first thing you're gonna do is get what?
Checking account.
Then you're gonna double down. Well, later on, I'm gonna teach you how to go in with one soft pull, which means there's no inquiries on your credit. Or if there is a hard pull, you get four products: credit card, line of credit, or through lines of credit and something else. Whatever the products they have, you better get four. So in other words, instead of having $20,000, you may have $75,000 at one shot. Now I'm going to teach you that the next time. But I want you to understand is you can start doing things. Now, Yolanda, if you're teaching women and they've got some money and they're married, and the husband may not agree to using the money that the two of you have been putting in that account, what do? You do all that you do in business, and then you bring it to them and you let them vet it. And you say, well, check this out for me. Look at it real good. See how that works. Now, they're not using that money. Now, here's the game plan, though. He want to know, if you use the money, how are you going to pay it back? Right? We're going to do a follow-up with you about how that happens. Are we clear? All right? Let's say you have credit cards and you use the credit card. We also got to show you how to transfer balances, clear that credit card. Then how to have nothing on your credit. You got your credit card free because you flipped the money. You get it? So if you used it, like sometimes you got to use credit card for business, but you need to put the money back on the credit card. You get me?
Right.
All right, so then we have to show you how to put the money back on the credit card where you don't be under pressure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or how to pull money off the credit card.
Right.
How do you pull the money off the credit card? We're going to discuss that. Any questions on what I just said? Does it make sense at all?
It makes sense.
I want you to think about it. So you're not using your own personal money, but you also got to know how to move money. It's about managing. The Bible says he gave you power to subdue the earth, which means to manage the earth. So what you do with money is you manage it. You get it? You manage money. All right. Go ahead.
I'm getting the Choice Rewards or a MasterCard. You tee up, you get a nice little 25 piece. Let's get it, let's go.
There you go. That's the bank. All right. Comments on what do you do when you're trying to fund yourself? Now, repeat back to me what you think he said. Anybody? What did you hear him say? Nobody? Nobody heard what he said?
Give it the first tech credit union, even if you have a low credit score of 650. What did he say? Donate to whatever company that was.
Fitness Association. It's $10. Okay. There you go. And then the first thing you do is open up a checking account. And then there's a few more things like the MasterCard and a couple other things. Remember I told you that then you start getting the credit cards. Okay. Let's go to the next thing. Now, this is really going to help you because a lot of people have a lot of problems in this particular area.
Is
Right.
this still out of fund your business, just still under that? the one you
No, this is going to deal with you and your credit.
credit?
Okay.
Because when I go to part 2 of how to fund your business, I'm going to deal with the fact that you got a low credit score. And how to build your credit while you're doing business, because you can have low credit scores and still be doing wonderful in business.
True.
We're gonna talk about that. Now, you gotta have, Dr. McNair, what's called round table discussions, where you actually take these chairs and you do a round circle. And you're gonna take people's debt and you're gonna make the debt bless them. You're gonna use the laws of the land and you're gonna make the debt bless you. Donald Trump bankrupted Taj Mahal, everything he owned, he bankrupted. And he's still considered a millionaire. You've seen a lot of people just bankrupt stuff and still become millionaires. How do they do that? What was the secret? And how come we don't know? We're going to talk about that. Do you understand? We're going to talk about that. One of the certifications that I got, and show you certificate, I had it printed, is business consulting. Right? So what I did is just went back to school for money. My first degree covered business and HR, my bachelor's, business and HR, before I went into counseling. So business, HR, and real property development. Real property development. So developing properties, all those things are part of the major that I had. The problem is you can get so caught up into what we did, shouting and praising God, that you don't do anything else. You just, that's all you do. You don't do anything else. And you don't have a partner that pushes you in your area. So the other thing is, a lot of us have been Lone Rangers for so long, and we have these walls built around us. Nobody knows what we are, what we've had training in, or what we need training in. Nobody encourages us, and so we never get where we want to go. Nobody pulls us. Are you with me? All right, so it'll be different. Now, this is going to be important. I want you to get it. Go ahead.
Collector. Our homie here sent us a question. After sending them a dispute for the original purchase agreement, they sent me a bill. What should I do next? This is not legal advice or financial advice, and I am not an attorney.
Stop for a minute. It's a debt collector. Turn it up.
So it's not game over yet. Sensational. Pause the video and screenshot this letter. I'm only going to read the juicy part. This is an illegal attempt to collect a debt illegally, and I'm going to report you to the CFPB, my state attorney general's office, and the Better Business Bureau, and the credit reporting agencies. You will have 7 days from date of receipt to cease and desist all collection activities, including deletion on all credit reporting agencies, or I plan to sue you in local courts. Last part's most important. You should have copies of all the letters that you sent to that whole debt collector, and you're going to file a complaint with the CFPB first. Your complaint will be simple and to the point. This debt collector is trying to collect an illegal debt that I do not owe them. And they are putting false information on my credit reports, which is a violation of the FDCPA. Then we go to the Better Business Bureau. This is an old tactic that still works. Choose the button that says, I'd like to file a complaint against a business and have BBB help me get a resolution to my problem. Last and final step, you're going to find out who your state attorney general is and contact them and send them all the information through email. We're going to report that whole debt collector to the state. And if they don't delete anything, you can sue them in your local small claims court. Follow to increase your credit score. Stop. Pay that whole collector.
Something else.
You sent us a question.
What are you doing?
After sending them a dispute for the original purchase agreement, they sent me a bill. What should I do next?
You didn't start
This is
from
not
the beginning.
legal advice or financial advice, and I am not an attorney.
Stop.
It started.
They must show.
Just stop. Silently start over again. While I'm talking. Listen. Somebody's trying to collect debt from you. Right? You try to call them and pay a debt. Doesn't really work. 9 times out of 10, you don't even have the money anyway.
Yeah.
They're harassing you about debt. What I want you to do is listen to this very slowly. Pay attention to what's being said. Is it up? Is the volume up? Let's go.
Stop and do not pay that whole collector. Our homie here sent us a question. After sending them a dispute for the original purchase agreement, they sent me a bill. What should I do next?
Stop for a moment. The original thing is this. Where's the original documents that have my signature and the company's signature on it? A third-party debt collector doesn't have it.
Right.
so they can't send it to you, right? Send it to me. They can't send it to you. Then what are you doing? It's like a charge off. If somebody charged something off on your credit, they didn't send me a 1099. So instead of you trying to dispute it on with the 3 credit bureaus, only thing you can do is reset the clock. If you try to do that, you're gonna reset the clock. So what do? You tell them to send you a 1099, right? Because they've already charged it off. They've made money off
They've
of
already made it.
your negative thing.
Very true.
And then somebody bought the debt,
Very
and now
true.
they're trying to collect the debt.
Yeah.
So instead of them collecting the money from you like they're trying to collect the money from you, this is how you would deal with the situation. Hit it.
It's not legal advice or financial advice, and I am not an attorney. They must show us that they legally own this alleged debt. So it's not game over yet. Sensational. Pause the video and screenshot this letter. I'm only going to read the juicy part. This is an illegal attempt to collect a debt illegally, and I'm going to report you to the CFPB.
They use scare tactics on you. So then you get afraid and get all nervous, and then you start making mistakes. What I want you to do is stop doing that. And we're going to top it off this way. I like to bring in an attorney, and I like them to talk about things like this with us, because I like to fact check things. Now, when they're working on your credit, these are the kind of things that they do when they're working on your credit, when you get a professional company.
Right.
Now, I'm going to tell you about this debt thing, because I started having things taken off my credit way before I got with who the realtor told me to get with, whom y'all are with now. Things were dropping off my credit, and Amos didn't remind me that I already had this machine working. And I just remembered, hey, I had a machine working for me fast. Stuff was just falling off. And so I went back and looked at things that I had to study. And one of the things I came back up with is the fact that you got people trying to collect debt from you, and they don't have the legal right to collect debt. They don't. And they don't have original documents, right? So you can say, hey, I'm going to send you this letter. I'm going to send it to you 3 times. I've got copies of what I sent you. You have 7 days from the date of receipt to cease and desist all collection activities, including deletion on all credit reporting agencies. Take it off, because the debt collector that put it on there, not the original debtor.
Right.
And then you say thank you. Then if they don't, you're going to report them to all the agencies that we just finished talking about. Now, what I have agents do is just kind of put it in a form that you can be passed out to you, because I think that's what you need. But we're going to talk about, again, you stop being so afraid. I did this because I wanted to take the fear out of you. Because as soon as you see something, letter come in the mail, I used to do that, be afraid. Get an email, you start being afraid. Then when you go talk to somebody, they make you even more scared. Right? If you got a scary partner, what's the use of talking to you and you're just as scared as I am?
How about that?
Oh my God, what you gonna do? Oh, you're not gonna do that. I don't know why you do it anyway. I can't. Please be quiet. Eat an apple. I can't deal with a scary person. A scary person won't work with me. I can't handle you because you're too scared. It reminds me back of evil reports. Remember the story in the Bible when they came back and said we're like there's giants over there. We're like grasshoppers. The Bible called that an evil report. And here you come talking to me with your scary self. That's an evil report. Get back, devil. Can you imagine you in the house? And here comes a scary report. I didn't say Lou was gonna do that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that, Leon. Don't tell him that. I didn't say that. But here comes, let's say you married to Tom, not Lewis. Tom. All right. And Tom, here he comes with his scary self. You say, I rebuke you. Tom, Satan, Tom. I rebuke you in Jesus' name. And you're going to come back with an evil report. Okay. This is evil.
Right. That's right.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's an evil report because there's a way of handling it. Stop being afraid.
Yes.
The last part I'm telling you is stop being afraid and do your homework. What did I just tell you?
Stop being afraid, do your homework.
All right, even if you got to call legal aid, even if you got to check it out with an attorney,
Yeah.
check it out, but don't be afraid. Stop walking around about to die every time something happens. All right? Now we're going to talk about what to do when you have bills. I had, thank you. You can take me off. Yeah. You know.